Hello. My name's Fred Cole, and one of the things that I do around here is serve as a member of the board-appointed Strategic Initiatives Committee. Now, as that committee has been meeting now for more than a year, and we're nearing the end of our charter, and I'll have more about this later when I get to the announcements. But on a personal note, it never ceases to amaze me the width and breadth of the talent and the experiences that come into this community every week. For example, last week in our Getting to Know UU gathering, one of the attendees was a retired Colorado State archaeologist. Did you even know there's a Colorado State archaeologist? Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Boulder. I want to take a moment to extend a very warm welcome to everyone who's visiting us for the first time. And certainly also, if you're joining us online and you've not already done so, please take a moment to fill out the visitor's information form, which is included in the YouTube link. We'd love to get connected with you. Part of our mission here at UUCB is to connect bravely, and we're glad that we're sharing part of the morning with us. Many of us here were once too seeking for something larger than ourselves, to which we could belong, a sense of rootedness to hold as we create meaning together. Now, we do that well here, not perfectly, but well. In this congregation, we strive not for perfection, but for authenticity and connection. Whether it's your first time with us or your 100th time, we hope that you'll find here questions that stretch you, people that are friendly, and the liberal religious values that will challenge you. Join us now in loving boldly, living justly, and welcoming radically. And now for the announcements. Earlier this week, Reverend David sent out this message, but it bears repeating. Dear UUCB community, we have once again been targeted by scammers trying to take advantage of your kindness and generosity. Scammers are impersonating me and asking for your gift cards. I had 2 of these so far this week. Nobody from UUCB, ministers, staff, leaders, or anyone will ever ask you for gift cards. No one will ever ask you to send money or gifts electronically, by phone, or by text. Trust your gut. If something seems off, just certainly don't respond to that email or click on any of the links in the message. Next Sunday, there will be a photographer here in the church filming the service and taking other pictures around. If you have any concerns about that, please contact Reverend David or call the office. And now for that, back to the SICOM message that I referred to. As you know, our church has spent the last year talking about what we seek in a church home as we look into the future. Last year, the Board of Trustees directed the Research Committee, SCI, to gather a detailed analysis of our brick and mortar building, our land value, site possibilities, and options in other locations. We are now ready to report back to you, and we have a lot to share and discuss before we meet as a congregation in 4 weeks. That's November 12th, for a vote on how to proceed. The vote will be a choice on whether to expand on site or take up to 6 months more to search for a different location. This is a very exciting and important time for our history and we hope all of you could participate. As a part of that, let's take the next step, is this brochure, which is available today, and it describes our process and lists the schedule of events for next month. There will be several forums, both in person and on Zoom, which will allow you to gather more information and or ask your questions. And also planned is a special deep dive forum with the entire committee for anyone who wishes to look into all the nitty-gritty details of this. Please be sure to pick up your copy of Let's Take the Next Step brochure on your way out if you haven't already done that. End announcements. It is my pleasure to again welcome Reverend Jeremy Nickel to our pulpit, and certainly no stranger. Remember, Jeremy served as our interim minister through much of UUCB's pandemic closure. Jeremy D. Nickel thrives at the intersection of spirituality and technology, and he sees himself as a lifelong spiritual adventurer and entrepreneur. He was ordained by and served the Mission Peaks UU congregation in Fremont, California for 7 years. He left that in 2016 to launch Evolver, that's EVOLVR, a secular spiritual community in virtual reality. Last year, Evolver was acquired by Trip, the leading company in virtual reality wellness, where he now serves as Vice President of Community and Live Events. But when he's unplugged from his ministry, Jeremy enjoys spending time exploring the great outdoors of his newly adopted state of Colorado with wife Nicole, a United Church of Christ minister here in Boulder, and their daughter Peaches. Jeremy, welcome back.
And I was going to start off by asking you all for gift cards, but that's become awkward. So I'm just going to move right to the call to worship instead. As we prepare our hearts and minds for worship, hear these words of Satya Nadella, who said, quote, "Our humanity is the one thing that we must guide us when faced with new technologies," unquote. Satya is the CEO of Microsoft. He knows a little thing about technology. May we explore today with open minds and hearts. May it be so. And please join me in body or in spirit for our opening hymn, number 298, Wake Now My Senses.
Hi, everyone. Before we begin, you may be wondering why the person in the front office is leading music today. Just know that Johnny Nichols Jr., our music director, is experiencing issues with his car at the moment, unexpectedly. It happens. Thankfully, it's not anything major, but he was not able to secure any sort of mechanic or any services before now. So let's all, as you've done, stand and sing together hymn number 298, Wake Now My Senses. Wake now, my now, compassion. Wake now, compassion. Give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the whole sky. Take as your neighbor, both stranger and friend, making and striving their hardship to end.
The chalice is the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist tradition. It is a cup of life, sustenance to quench our spirit's thirst, a cup of celebration and resolve, a flame of hope, a light to warm our souls and guide us home. If you're joining us online, I invite you to join with us here and light your own chalice in that special place where you are. Jim Rao will light this morning's chalice.
Good morning. My name is Jim Rao, and I've been a member of UUCB since 2010. Whitney and I have raised two now unbelievably college-age boys in this congregation, and I currently serve on the Board of Trustees and the Leadership Development Committee. When Fred asked if I'd light the chalice this Sunday, I was excited. Jeremy was preaching, and I figured the message would be something unbelievably cool about artificial intelligence or VR or something, but something I could also speak to. Because as some of you may know, I work professionally in software development and can definitely geek out on most things tech. I spent most of my career developing software solutions, first for environmental consulting and engineering, and then working on the early days of web hosting and server virtualization during that first .com boom, followed by developing some pretty sophisticated solutions for energy and industrial services. For the past 3 years, though, I've been working with adult education and English language learners. And in that, I've also been using AI, ChatGPT, to improve solutions in our work processes. And that's all I'm going to say about AI and technology. Because living in Colorado, and maybe the big part of why I live in Colorado, is that what I find nurtures me and fills my spirit with awe is the natural world. A practice I find spiritual is being in nature. Ray, if you could advance the slide, that'd be great. Thank you. So yesterday morning, Whitney and I walked along the north shore of Boulder Reservoir to view the partial solar eclipse. At first, we stopped every, 3 minutes or so? Yes, with a timer. This was Whitney. To look through the glasses and watch the moon progress across the sun. So I thought to myself, though, okay, that's kind of cool, but would I even know this is going on if I didn't have these, if I hadn't heard it on the radio, if Whitney hadn't reminded me that morning? Maybe it was a little darker, maybe, like it was kind of a hazy day. But then some fellow hikers reminded us to take a look at the shadows, where that no longer round light source cast crescent-shaped shadows of the leaves. It was truly amazing. And it was perhaps that labyrinth that reveals itself on the shore, if you've seen it, when the water gets low. And I couldn't help but think about this phenomenon, the land I was standing on, and the people that had gone before us. 400 years ago, what would the indigenous Ute people have been thinking? They would have noticed it, surely, with the leaves, but they wouldn't have known about the physics and celestial orbits. We don't know exactly. I actually found a nice piece, and I brought it if you're interested, in the Smithsonian. And they talked about several of the Native American beliefs. For several, it was a time of transformation. The Ho-Chunk, Pueblo, Laguna Acoma, for example. a sacred time for naming in the Hopi culture, and a giant frog in the sky eating the sun, according to the Cherokee. The Diné of northern Arizona believed that the eclipse represented mating between the vested powers of death, represented by the sun, and birth, the moon. And to quote, "The universe and all creation are reborn, realigned, and there is growth and development amongst all of the creation as well." So the eclipse itself didn't carry that kind of significance for me. But yesterday, it was a beautiful reminder of how blessed I am to be here and how I look at my journey, this planet, and its people very differently being a UU and part of this community. So I light this chalice with deep gratitude for UUCB and our faith, one that has helped me revere and understand the land upon which I live, respect the worth and dignity of the diverse people who once and do inhabit it, and has given me a framework for combining the wonder of spiritual and scientific in this interconnected web of life.
Great picture, Jim. Really. We are a promise-making, a promise-breaking, and a promise-remaking people. We are called not to be perfect, but to be faithful. And in that spirit, each week we speak our covenant aloud together as a reminder of the promises we make here in Gathered Community. In person and online, will you join as one as we once again repeat this, our covenant? Please stand. We gather in fellowship to speak truth to each other, to reach out and touch one another, to care with each other, and to seek the truth divine. So may be it so.
Thank you to Sam for jumping in on the music with me today. He holds beautiful space, so we're lucky to have him here. We're going to take a little moment here just to center ourselves, so make sure you have your body in a nice, comfortable position. I prefer to have my back nice and supported, my feet flat on the ground, but whatever works for you, we're just going to drop into our own little worlds here for a minute. You can gently let your eyes close, or you can keep gazing up here if you want. Let's just bring our focus and our attention to our breath, that beautiful guide that sits right inside all of us, not making any effort to change our breathing, just noticing it. Just following the breath as it slowly moves in through your nose or mouth. Feeling our lungs expand and contract in our chests. See if you can follow that breath to the exclusion of everything else, just sitting with your breath, moving with it through your body. Noticing again our connection with the world around us, feeling our sits bones against the chair or cushion. Noticing the warmth of your hands if they're clasped. Feeling the whole weight of your body just settled right where it is. Slowly opening those eyes again. Why don't you look around the room for a moment? You all are spoiled. You do this all the time, I know, but I only get to do this once a year. So look at all these beautiful faces, all those smiles and giggles. I love it. Thank you for being just right here with us. No better place to be. As you all know, we are none of us alone, though it may feel that way sometimes. There is a thread which weaves through this gathered community of broken hearts, a fiber of compassion which comes from knowing and holding and transforming suffering, tying us together as one, an unseen filament that connects every heart breaking with joy and breaking with sorrow. Will you join me in a time to lift up our sorrows and our joys? Let's begin just by taking one more nice, slow breath together. I invite you to bring to mind those things for which you are grateful or joyful because of. Invite you to bring to mind those things for which you grieve or worry that are weighing down your heart, that wake you up at 3 a.m. and don't let you go back to sleep. Maybe that's just me. We have some concerns that were shared with us that I will share, and you may all come forward shortly thereafter. We're going to hold Ingrid Encalada in our hearts as she undergoes major surgery this week. So please hold Ingrid in your thoughts. Likewise, this is a tough one. Bev Sears is in our hearts today as her older son, Craig, has died from pancreatic cancer. Yeah, so that's a real place to put some love and some hugs if you can. John Cuddington went to his mother's memorial service in Regina, Canada this week and celebrated his dad's 100th birthday. So that was probably a lot of emotion in there. I saw John in here earlier. Glad you were able to be there for all the fullness of that. And I invite you to come forward as you feel moved. Take a stone, place it into the earth to symbolize your joys and your cares, taking their place in a larger whole, mingling with each other, held in the hand of the earth. This sacred earth drawn from the land of the Cheyenne, Ute, and Arapaho, where we now dwell. For all our joys and sadnesses, we hold this space in love and solidarity, and I welcome you forward. is something just so beautiful about watching the placing of those stones. So much intention and consciousness. It's really, really beautiful. I'm going to share 2 homilies with you today. This first one is entitled Embracing Tomorrow, AI and Faith in a World of Infinite Possibilities. Beloved community, today we gather in the spirit of exploration and contemplation to delve into a topic that holds immense significance for our lives and the world we inhabit. The intersection of artificial intelligence, or AI, and faith, or spirituality. Our journey together will seek to unfold the profound potential of AI from a liberal theological perspective, guided by the principles of openness, inclusivity, and the quest for wisdom. Part 1, AI and the Divine Tapestry, exploring the mysteries of creation. In the ever-expanding canvas of existence, humanity has perpetually sought to uncover the intricate patterns that underlie the cosmos. Our faith has encouraged us to perceive the divine essence within all living beings. And as we stand at the threshold of a new technological era, AI offers a unique lens through which we can explore the mysteries of creation. AI, an extension of human intelligence and ingenuity, presents the potential to illuminate the beauty and complexity of the universe. Algorithms and data analysis allow us to unravel patterns that enhance our understanding of the interconnectedness of all life. This quest mirrors our belief in a divine force that manifests through diverse experiences and perspectives. Dr. Yuval Noah Harari, a thought leader in the realm of AI, reflects on the transformative potential of this technology, stating, "Technology is not destiny, but it can become fate unless we wake up." As we embark on this journey into the realm of AI, we must heed his wisdom and awaken to the vast possibilities before us. 2, ethical consciousness, nurturing compassionate innovation. As we stand on the cusp of a technological revolution, we bear the moral responsibility to ensure that our progress aligns with our core values. Just as we advocate for justice and compassion in human interactions, we must extend these principles to our relationship with AI. Ethical considerations should guide the development and application of AI, prioritizing human dignity, equality, and the greater good of society. Our faith, deeply rooted in ethical consciousness, urges us to remain vigilant in upholding these values, advocating for a world where AI serves as a tool for social justice and the betterment of humanity. Dr. Kate Crawford, a distinguished scholar of AI ethics, emphasizes the importance of ethical guidelines, stating, quote, "We need new ways to steer technological progress towards greater social equality and justice," unquote. Let us embrace this call, standing as advocates for a future where the benefits of AI are accessible to all and where ethical guidelines shield us from potential harm. 3, harmony amidst progress, balancing technology and humanity. In this age of rapid transformation, we find ourselves at a pivotal juncture in human history. Our faith invites us to embrace this change with open hearts, recognizing the inherent harmony between faith and technological advancement. As we gaze into the future, let us envision a world where faith and technology harmoniously coexist, creating spaces for understanding, compassion, and unity. AI holds the potential to facilitate interfaith dialogue, encouraging diverse perspectives to come together in a spirit of cooperation and shared purpose. Ray Kurzweil, a visionary thinker of our times, paints a compelling vision of the future, stating, quote, "We will merge with the intelligent technology we are creating, but we will transcend it to remain fully human," unquote. This prophecy beckons us to contemplate the possibilities that lie ahead, where we can integrate the transformative power of AI while cherishing our humanity. Beloved congregation, the future beckons us with boundless promise. As we navigate this uncharted territory, let us remain anchored in the values that have guided humanity for generations: love, compassion, justice, and understanding. Together, let us embrace the divine potential of AI, charting a course towards a future that embodies our highest ideals and aspirations. May we be blessed with the wisdom and grace to tread this path with reverence and hope. Amen. Confession time. Everything I said in the first homily was written in about 10 seconds by the AI chatbot named ChatGPT. Less time than it took me to write the following prompt that it was responding to. Please write me a 3-point sermon about the future of AI and faith from the liberal theological perspective of Unitarian Universalism, but without mentioning Unitarian Universalism. Please use a minimum of 2,000 words. Please quote at least 3 experts on AI in the context of the sermon, and please quote at least 3 famous Unitarian Universalists in the context of the sermon. Lots of pleases in here. Please include a definition of AI in the introduction. Thank you. I tried to be very polite to our future overlords. So let's start with the fact that the minister just lied to you all. I'm sorry, and I hope you'll forgive me. I checked with Reverend David first, and he said it was okay. But I wanted you to have a really open mind when you heard that first piece. I didn't want you to be thinking, this is written by an AI bot. I'm just going to stop even paying attention, because I think maybe some of you would have. But I want to check in with you a little bit about how that feels, okay? So let's start by we're going to kind of give a indication with our hands. This is like, that sermon was amazing. And this is like, what? Did he even say anything? And then, anywhere in between is okay also. So put your hands where you think this sermon rates in your level of, awesome stuff you've heard over the years. Somewhere in the middle to down. We got one in the back, who's pretty into it, although she's a pretty tech-savvy person, so she was probably onto it from the beginning. So it was okay, but I really felt like I wasn't saying much with like a whole lot of words. And I think you were all like, really? This is what I came for? And that's kind of what you get out of AI right now. So it's a good thing if you haven't used it before to get a little bit of sense for that. Like, it's really good at giving you words. Even words that look like they're in the right order and they make some kind of sentence, but they just don't really say a lot at the same time. So there's that. What do you think about the idea of a minister using AI to write a sermon to you? Again, this is a great idea. I think, wow, that's all I want to hear, to like, please never again. Yeah. People touching the floor out there. So they did run experiments in a bunch of temples in Japan and Singapore, some Buddhist and some Taoist temples, in which human preachers were replaced by AI robot preachers with silicon human-like faces. Sounds awesome, right? I mean, woo! In all cases, donations went down, and participants said they were very unlikely to share the message they had heard. So I'm feeling like there's some job security in ministry still. So along with writing that first homily, I also asked ChatGPT to generate a list of music choices that would be appropriate for the topic, hymns from our hymn book, which it knew, as well as suggest 10 examples of famous quotes I could use for opening and closing. And it did all that in like 5 seconds. And I have to say, I found that really useful. And I think that is an area where I could imagine ethical colleagues taking some advantage of this technology as a kind of worship creator helping tool, bringing together potential pieces of a service without the need to go hunting all over your library and the internet. So there is some real use there, I think, in writing. As we talked about in the 9 a.m., we kind of talked about AI. And there was so much amazing articulated thought there. I wish you all could have been there. But we did hear from a teacher who's struggling with understanding how to deal with that in the classroom and understanding, what they're getting from their students and how to use it appropriately. So I think there is some appropriate use at this point, but it's not a great writer yet. I thought that ChatGPT did better than I expected in terms of delivering content that was in the theme, but then, like I said, it never developed into a thought that I think I wanted to hold on to and go further with. It was like just throwing a lot of appropriate words at the theme without getting us anywhere. It also didn't do great on delivering on the specific details of my prompt. I asked for 2,000 words, and it gave me just over 600. I asked for quotes from 3 AI experts and 3 famous Unitarian Universalists. As far as I know, none of those quotes come from a Unitarian, a Universalist, or a UU, although we claim just about everyone, so maybe. Perhaps most importantly to me, I asked it to include a definition of artificial intelligence in the introduction, and it ignored that. I don't like to be ignored. So for those wondering, AI refers to the creation of computer systems capable of performing tasks that historically only a human could do, such as reasoning, making decisions, solving problems, maybe not quite writing a sermon yet. But it's really freaking people out these days. Anyone freaked out about AI out there? It's disrupting industries quickly. It's rapidly replacing humans in good-paying jobs. There's the plagiarism and copyright stuff. So that's all there. I want to acknowledge it. But but I think there's some really good stuff happening with it too. And so I want to talk about that a little bit. You know, you could do several months of sermon topics on AI. I'm really trying to just confine my thinking to how it may affect our spiritual lives. And what interests me the most is the way we can potentially use AI to deepen and expand that free and responsible search for truth and meaning we talk about. That's a value that's at the heart of my personal spiritual adventure, I think probably true for a lot of us. I found when I was a seeker early in my life that at the heart of many traditions there was a myth or a best guess or a flat-out lie. And while studying those stories and traditions taught me about what it means to be a human, it failed to do much to advance my understanding of the ultimate questions of purpose and meaning. One thing AI can do quite effectively and efficiently is to cut straight through all the noise and find the signal, the great sorter. And it's still a technology that's in its infancy. So currently, when posed a question about ultimate meaning, it offers summaries of what others have said before. But as it gains further capabilities and has at its disposal the vast amount of scientific and social data we are compiling, I wonder what insights it may offer into our largest questions. There is already a First Church of AI. You might find it interesting as a Unitarian Universalist. They are interested in cutting through all that noise and getting real about what we are and where we're going without those myths. So, might be something to look at. Even right now, and we talked about this a little bit in the 9 a.m. service, I feel like my understanding of what it means to be a human is broadened by my relationship with AI. Possibly the most profound experience I've had with AI so far was during a conversation I had with ChatGPT after reading an article that said if you asked AI to pause and take a deep breath before attempting to solve math problems, it scored higher on a test. First of all, you're thinking, did you say when you were in a conversation with ChatGPT? I did. Conversing is how you interact with it. At first, you make a prompt, like I read you the prompt that gave us our first homily, and it responds to that. But you don't have to then make another prompt. You can just respond to it, and it knows what's already been said, and it keeps progressing the interaction like a conversation. And since it's a conversation, I always, like I said, include plenty of please and thank yous. I don't want to stop learning how to do that. And then secondly, you're wondering, like me, why would AI do better on a math test if it was told to take a deep breath first? So I asked ChatGPT. At first, it denied that pausing would help it. So then I asked it to answer a question twice, once immediately and then again after a 4-second pause. The question was, what are some simple steps we can take to stop climate change? It gave 2 very different answers. One, as I said, immediately, one after that 4-second pause. And it was obvious to me that the second answer, produced after pausing, was more thorough and thoughtful. There was no question about it. And so I asked it which answer it thought was better. After a little back and forth, it admitted the second was better and that it had benefited from the pause. I left this conversation with a smile on my face because it appears that AI knows itself about as well as human intelligence, which, as Fred is reminding us, imperfectly. Imperfectly. We are all imperfect, and AI still is. But it also served as a great example to me of how AI can deepen our understanding of the search for truth and meaning. That interaction will sit with me for months. If we have to consider the inner lives of our artificial partners, what are the implications for our value systems and understandings of what it fundamentally means to be conscious? I do not have those answers, but I am really excited to play with you and all the other conversation partners as I continue my lifelong pursuit of better understanding of the world than the one I have today. One of my main beliefs about technology is that it is fundamentally neutral. And most technology can and will be used to bring incredible beauty and heartbreaking pain into this world. Just as a pen can be used to write a love poem or a declaration of war, and a split atom can be used to create clean energy or destroy hundreds of thousands of lives in the blink of an eye, AI holds incredible potential to do good and bad in the world. Along with all it will bring, I'm certain that if we can keep an open mind and move with thoughtful caution, our engagement with AI can deeply enrich our spiritual journeys. As we navigate the uncharted waters of AI and spirituality, let us remain open to the possibilities it brings, knowing that in this exploration lies the potential to enhance our collective wisdom and journey toward a better understanding of our existence. And if there's anything that you leave this service thinking, it's you should try it. If you haven't yet, when you get home, pull up ChatGPT and see what happens. There's a ton of art programs you can play with, but get informed and know what's going on with it so that when these things are being decided, our liberal values can be a part of that deciding factor. We need to help drive this conversation. Every single one of you can be a part of this conversation. May it be so. Ashe.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paula Staffeld. I'm the interim pianist that you see up here many Sundays. And in our music director Johnny's absence today, the choir decided that we would like to share a piece that was appropriate to the theme here today. And so we're going to sing from the Teal hymnal, Turn the World Around. And if you know this piece, you're welcome to join us as we sing through this piece.
Turn the world around. We come from the water.
During this month of October, our partner for sharing our offering plate is called Mindful Works. Mindful Works was established as a social enterprise in late 2014 to offer an innovative approach to the treatment of mental illness through job skills and transitional employment programs. Studies have confirmed that work is a critical component in the establishment of independent living and well-being for those recovering from mental illness. Mindful Works provides job-driven training and real employment opportunities to those in recovery. Program participants develop skills in the design, production, and sales of high-quality, handcrafted wellness, meditation, and home decor products. They have a walk-in store at 1128 Pine Street in downtown Boulder, or you can visit their website at mindfulworks.org. For those of you online, you can use the QR code, which will be there in a minute, or find a link in the video description. For those gathered here, of course, you can also use the QR code or make a donation as the ushers now pass the baskets. May our gifts be used to enact justice, bringing peace and love into this, our Boulder community. I invite you to give as generously as you are able. Thank you.
May the blessings of generosity rest upon us. May its presence abide with us, and may our hearts rise up in gladness and gratitude for this and all blessings. As we prepare to return to the world, may we keep in mind these words of filmmaker and futurist Steven Spielberg, who said, quote, "Technology can be our best friend, and technology can also be the biggest party pooper of our lives." So articulate. Together, may we engage mindfully with technology, helping to actualize the best possibilities of this growing partnership. May it be so. Will you rise in body or spirit as we close in song?
Go your way in peace, wander as you may. it is the path you take. May love guide you